Welcome to Never a Worry Multimedia Edition. The world is full of oral cues and stimuli. I'll list a few based on what I heard when I was writing this post, or what came to mind. The white noise of fans, trains rumbling on the tracks, the tick-a-tappa tick on the keyboard, the dull roar of conversation in your surroundings, the soft, high-pitched sound of a TV or computer screen, other people's voices. As it turns out, at least in my experience, each of these sounds essentially the same, whether you hear it directly or whether you hear it on recording. Continuing with the front matter of this post, I'd like to thank Eleonora for the idea of this post. She had done some video recordings of her reading excerpts from her books on YouTube. I guess this constitutes this as an unpaid sponsored paragraph, and she had posted a reflection about the process on her blog. Indeed, it is much different listening to words, particularly your own, versus reading them. However, my post wants to focus on something more easily heard. Voices. For a long time, I have not minded hearing my own voice when speaking with someone. I do not intentionally try to talk so as to hear it, but my own voice, live, is something that's just there. But if I hear my own voice on recording, I used to cringe. I like to think that my speech patterns are continuous and non-choppy based on what I hear in live conversation. Well, this includes talking to myself. Ha! Although I've been described as having a perfectly articulated monotone, my perception is that I can vary the tone of my voice. But when I hear it on recording, I hear something which sounds quite disjointed, with certain speech impediments, unnatural pauses or gaps in words, and I hate to say it, but I think it makes me sound juvenile or unintelligent. Well, I found an article from Marquette University that offers an explanation. When a person talks, the external sound waves that come from a person's mouth are what anyone can perceive. However, the producer also receives a signal from the vibration in the throat, which creates an internal signal that only the producer can hear. It reminds me once in 5th grade when one of my classmates was speaking on a recording of something that we had done in class. The specifics I can't quite remember at this point. Excuse me. To me, it sounded just like how he sounded in the flesh, but he said that it sounded nothing like his voice. Returning to the claim that I made at the end of my cynical paragraph, the voice that I hear on recording is much closer to what others hear from me. They have complimented my voice, calling it distinctive, easy to listen to, or pleasant. Maybe it's just me being too critical of myself, like I tend to be in other arenas. The happy news is that I have become much more tolerant of my voice on recording. Exhibit A. I can now listen to my bad impressions recording MMXIV 180 without being driven up a wall. Exhibit B follows. Dempster is next. Doors open on the right at Dempster. Standing passengers, please do not lean against the doors. Leaning against the doors is a 1,000-point penalty. The last sentence in that statement is my own silliness being added, obviously. Now that I think about it, I could see why my family and some of my friends think I would be a good voiceover person. You never know. There's no reason that I should limit myself in this job search. However, so that I don't drive myself crazy on said search, time for a fun evening activity. Let's play racquetball! And here's the ending stuff. Today is the 13th day of the 4th round of Maple. That makes 1 week and 6 days. Hayom Tisha v'shloshim yom, shehem chamisha shavuot v'arba'a yamim la'omer. The countdown to D-Day is 19 days. See you next time.